I think here at the Youth Centre we are really proactive about trying to get creative arts into the lives of the young people that we service. Many of them come from schools where there are no creative arts programs, and as everybody knows, the creative arts programs are usually the first ones to be cut. We have after school and summer programs here at the Youth Centre, the Ridgewood Bushwick Youth Centre on Gates Avenue. We have summer programs and year-round programs at our Ridgewood Bushwick Beacon program at IS 296. And we also have other after-school programming at different junior high schools in the community.
I'm Starla Mraz. I'm an activity specialist.
My name is Janine Campbell, and I'm the STEP instructor.
My name is Chris Dilly, and I'm a voice and drama teacher.
My name is Ed Woodham.
My name is Angel Thompson, and I'm a teaching artist.
My name is Magali Torres. I am the director of the 21st Century Program and also Advantage. It's an after-school program which runs from 2:30 to about 6:30, and then there's evening activities. We have activities for the kids up to about 8:30 or so, and then adult programming as well.
Apart from being the director of My Voice Theatre, which is sort of kind of what I started doing, it was my primary role here at Ridgewood Bushwick. I mean, that has developed so that I'm now the director of creative arts programming here at the Youth Centre. And so, as well as teaching My Voice Theatre, I also run a journalism class after school. So we've got 5 young people who put together a newsletter for the Youth Centre called the Centre News. My Voice Theatre has been in existence since February of 1996, and it evolved through a conversation that I had with my supervisor, Elena Zulo, who's the Assistant Executive Director of Ridgewood Bushwick. And we were looking at ways of trying to reach young people who had not gotten involved in drugs, crime, violence. We were looking at a proactive way of reaching them. And I have a background in theatre, and we thought that if we were to put together a youth theatre program, that it might help these young people come in, get them in off the streets and have them speak about issues that really affect them on a daily basis. And if they were to express how they feel about them and sort of act that out for other young people in the community, that it would be a proactive way of reaching them before they got involved in the drugs, the crimes and the violence. The young people who are involved in My Voice Theatre, they create their own work. I mean, it's about them, it's about their issues, about their thoughts, their feelings, which is why the program is called My Voice. It's the voice of the young people that are in it. And the issues change. Some of them are constant, some of them change. And basically what we do whenever the young people come into the program is we create a safe space for them so they know that they can express, they can feel and be allowed the dignity of risk to share whatever it is that's going on with them. And through improvisation, through workshops, we look at issues, we highlight some of those issues, and then we ask them to write pieces based on those issues.
I'm a teaching artist. I am here at 296, IS 296. This summer I'm teaching sculpture with the 5th and 6th grade groups for the Beacon Summer Camp. Ultimately, the goal is absolutely to have fun. You know, this is summer camp, this isn't school, it's not tight to an instructional kind of a thing, so I definitely want them to have fun. It's a chance to explore what sculpture is. In this case right now they are working on a clay project, and they had sculpture previously done only with clay, so there was a lot of experimenting with different materials, with found objects, with paper mache and sculpture in that way, and also we did paper mache, we did mobiles.
At this table we are making our stuff. Paper mache. We're covering our paper mache so we can blend in the color of what our mouse color is going to be.
Awesome, right? James, look at this. I made a dog with the big nose, the eyes, and the ears. Yeah, this is the nose. I made a dog. Now, I'm going to go to the paper. I just paper mached it.
Very big mouse.
What I gotta do is make the whiskers and the eyes.
Why did you decide to make your mouse blue?
That's my favorite color.
So it's thinking about how sculpture can be different. It's not just a building of a person or whatever, and thinking of additive sculpture in most cases. Also just sort of practicing sharing and communication skills and problem-solving skills and perseverance. When things don't start out the way you want them to, keeping going with it. You know, happy mistakes. I don't believe there really are any mistakes in art.
I teach photography and drama. I've been teaching at PS 86 and IS 296 for about 5 years. Just last year, I brought the idea of teaching photography to these younger students, to the people who run our Beacon program here at IS 296. I thought that it would be a program the students would really love, not only because kids are much more technically savvy these days than they were in my day, but also because I found in the course of my teaching that children really love to see themselves.
I'm working with kids kindergarten through 5th grade, and this is a sort of general summer camp, so they have all sorts of classes. They have nutrition classes and gardening classes, and I was called in to give them sort of a creative class. And I teach voice and I also teach drama, so I wanted to do a combination of the two and have them prepare a final presentation. Every week it's about getting them sort of opened up and warmed up and used to the idea of using their bodies and their faces to communicate, getting their voices open and expressive and suitable for the stage so they can communicate to an entire theater as opposed to just each other.
This summer I'm teaching a workshop in puppetry and one in quilting and stitchery. I have such a love for the power of art to transform people's lives that being able to share that with children and give them sort of a lifeline for empowerment.
My puppet is a superhero. He's a safe person, and his friends are Jocelyn, Amanda, and Narcia. My puppet name is Katie. She's a superhero who flies around the world. Her superpowers is super fast, super strength, and she gets to turn invisible and to teleport. And what it's made out of is the hair is brown and red, and she got pretty green eyes. My superhero name is Love. Her superpower is that everybody that is evil, she spreads a little love to them. And that I called her Love because her name is Love because she's a heart, and everything that she has is a heart. Her eyes and her mouth.
I believe art also teaches the sequential process of how to take things from the intangible to the tangible.
I think we've been incredibly fortunate to have the instructors that come along to work with the young people. I mean, we really do try to bring people in who have a passion for working with young people, who have a passion for teaching what they teach. Because if the instructor is excited and passionate about it, it helps create that spark in the young person that's attending that class that they want to go to that class. And they go home and they talk to their parents about it, and the parent comes in and it's like, oh, so they're doing photography now, and oh, they're singing. My kid came home, they were singing this song, I didn't know they could sing. So it's all about journeys and discovering new things and discovering who you are and what you have a passion for, what you don't have a passion for.
Step this summer has been a lot of fun with Miss Janine.
Start to show them the step. When I first show it to them, they're all looking at me like I'm crazy, and they're saying, wow, this is really hard. So once it gets to the end and they actually realize that it's not that bad and it's simple once they learn it, they actually feel pretty good about themselves that they, you know, wow, I was able to learn this step. So I think they do have a good time in learning.
I find that the students get an extraordinary sense of themselves from working with photography. I think it helps engage them in cooperation in their classroom, but they also really enjoy and appreciate seeing themselves and seeing how they engage themselves during the course of the day. It's a real self-validation for my students.
It's been really rewarding watching the kids find things that they really like and watching them explore and grow with that exploration. Art is a fabulous form of expression. I don't want them to see art as an elitist thing or something that only goes in museums or whatever. I want them to be able to see art as the many different facets of things that it can be, that it is a personal expression, that it can be the making of a gift, it can be something that is practical at times, it can be something that is decorative, it can be something that is commentary. on, you know, social issues or whatever, but to take that with them and to, a broader understanding of that art can encompass so much more than just something pretty that goes by the couch.
Arts are important because kids have another form of expressing themselves through be it through drawing, through creating sculptures, through dancing, through stepping, something different as opposed to words. Some kids are not easily able to express themselves vocally, so they do it in another way, and by stepping or by taking pictures, and pictures that are very creative, something that we take a camera for granted, they take it as another world for them, and they show us pictures and they show us something beautiful. Like, yeah, reading and math is fundamental, but look what I did with my hands as well, and you incorporate all of that all together. I mean, we might take it for granted occasionally. Someone looks at it, oh, that's different, but to a kid, it's like, it's a different world to them, and that's how they show us what they feel. Maybe, even as a counselor, you ask a child, can you draw something for me? If they're not able to express it verbally, they can show you that they're angry, or that they're happy, or that they're upset if they can't speak it. Sometimes, whatever reason, some of us go through certain things and we're mute, and we mute ourselves, and we kind of stay in a shell, but through art, you're able to show it unconsciously, and that's what they did throughout the summer.
If tomorrow we were told you can no longer provide services to any young person in Bushwick, I can't imagine what it would do to the hundreds of young people that come through our doors every single year. I know during the summer there are so few summer camps, whether provided by Ridgewood Bushwick or other community organizations, and there are so many people who are fighting for spots in those summer camps, that people would be on the street. I mean, literally, they would be on the street. They'd be playing in fire hydrants, or they'd be at the local playground every day, or the guys and girls would be on the basketball court. I think it would be very, very bleak for everybody, both for the young people that access our programs and for their families, if programs weren't available anymore.
And I think it's great for the summer for kids to have this kind of program. I think it's important, and it develops community. They're learning about drama and voice and nutrition and gardening, and they're making new friends, and they have some place to go every day, and they're going on these incredible field trips. They're spending their summers learning and having fun, and I think that's not to be taken for granted, because it takes a lot of organization and it takes a lot of effort on behalf of the counselors and the teachers and the administrators. So I think they're to be applauded for giving these kids this kind of program for the summer.
I just wanted to, I guess, emphasize how lucky we are to receive funding from organizations like the New York State Council on the Arts and New York State Office of Alcoholism and Substance Abuse Services, and the many city and state agencies that provide funding for us to be able to do what we do here at the Youth Centre, that they recognize the importance of creative arts programming and providing access to creative arts programming to young people, and to try and reach them as young as possible. Quite often people are looking, when they're providing funding, at, okay, what are your outcomes? How do you measure this? And I don't know if you can, on paper, measure self-esteem. I don't know if you can measure growth in somebody, how somebody feels about themselves. And to have an organization like New York State Council on the Arts recognize that you can't necessarily show growth in a young person over a certain number of months, or over a year, for them to recognize that and to fund us to be able to do that, I think it's an amazing thing, and just wanted to thank our funders for providing us with the opportunity to provide the services for the young people that come here.